confession to make today, and that is a secret that I have suffered from since 2012. And it is actually the thing that has held me back from more success, from doing more deals, and from helping more women. And I think this is probably something that a lot of ladies suffer from. Whether we want to admit it or not, we all fall into this trap. And it is a trap, ladies. It happens to men too. I see it happening to my husband sometimes, but he has a better way of saying, oh no, I see this coming and I ain't doing it. But when I see this coming on my end, I just run straight on into it and say, it's okay, we'll figure it out later. And I've seen a lot of other real estate investors go through this. I've seen a lot of other business owners go through this. I see more women going through this than men, though. And so I want to share this secret with you today. And that is, you can't do it all. I've said it a million different times that there are thousands of ways to make money in real estate. And there are. That's no exaggeration. And that is completely overwhelming for newbies. That is completely overwhelming for real estate agents, regular real estate agents that only know one way to make money. That is completely overwhelming to wholesalers who are trying to make the jump over to buying and holding or lease options or owner financing. It's just completely overwhelming to think that there are thousands of ways to make money in real estate investing. But the secret is learning when to say no and learning how to say no and learning that you really, if you want to really grow, if you want to really learn, you really need to master one rhythm at a time. One thing at a time, doing one deal at a time, going down one path at a time, closing one deal at a time. And what happens, I know this is what happened to me when I was getting started. And hey, y'all, if you're watching right now, give me a hashtag lady in the comments. And if you're watching this later on the replay, whether it's on YouTube or later on Facebook or wherever it is, if you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag landlord. All right, but if you're watching right now, hashtag lady. And on the replay, hashtag landlord. So when I got started in real estate investing, I only knew one way to do real estate. My mom had taught me by example to buy and hold houses. And she'd figured it out over, 30 years, how to save up some money, buy a house, and then rent it. Save up some money, buy a house, and then rent it. So when I got started, I was at a real estate auction and I bought a piece of land. And then I was like, woo, I am actually a real estate investor right now. I own a piece of land. I have invested in real estate. Right? It is true. I was a real estate investor at that point because I bought that land to sell it in the future for a price more than I paid back in December of 2012. And then I thought, all right, cool. So I went and bought some more land. Because that's what my mom had taught me how to do. My mom had mastered one way of making money in real estate, and she'd showed by example how to do that. She didn't teach me. I didn't have an official mentor when I started. My mom just taught me, kind of on accident. So then I started buying houses, and I was a cash buyer. A lady asked me this morning, what is a cash buyer exactly? Well, when I bought that land at auction, I paid real cash out of my pocket, and I'm a cash buyer. The next summer, I bought 2 houses. I bought one house at auction. I bought one house from a FSBO, from a for sale by owner. But I paid cash for both of those. On the first house, I spent my entire life savings, cash, out of my pocket, drained my bank accounts. And on the second house, I used my brother's life savings, used all the cash he had in his entire life, drained his bank accounts. Because that's the only way that we knew how to make money in real estate, y'all. Our mom had showed us how to Save money, buy a house, and rent it. So that's what we were doing. But later that year, I found out about creative financing. And in the next year, we went from 2 houses to 14 houses. And one thing that I really suffered from in 2014 was saying yes to everything and anything. Saying, yes, I can do that. Yes, I'll take that on. Yes, I'll try that. Yes, I'll try this. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, 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 yes. And women do that. Men do that too, I know. But women do that. And sometimes what happens is you go through a little slump. If you're in real estate investing and you've ever been through a slump, give me some hearts. Give me some thumbs up. Give me that hashtag lady. If you're watching live right now, if you're watching on the replay right now, give me a hashtag landlord. If you've ever been through a slump in real estate investing. If you've ever been through a slump in real estate, give me a heart, give me a like, give me a hashtag lady in the comments right now, because everybody in real estate has been through a slump at one time or another. It's a fact. You've been through a slump at one time or another. And what happens when you get in that slump is you think, oh crap, that way that I was going to do deals, it's not working anymore. So I need to learn this, and I need to try that, and I need to do this, and I need to go there, and I need to take this other thing, and I need to try that other thing, and maybe that thing will work. And it's shiny object syndrome, y'all. And it's from a panic situation. It's from a panic in your heart when you're going through that slump. It has nothing to do with you or your systems or your process or your sellers. Well, it might. You might actually be doing everything wrong, but it's probably just that you're in a slump. All right? And I'm sitting outside right now, and I'll tell you that the leaves are going to start changing, and they're technically going through a slump. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to come right back up. And you are too. All right? When you go through a slump, that's when a lot of people, a lot of ladies are going to say, I need more things to do. Maybe now I'm going to try flipping. Maybe now I'm going to try buying and holding. Maybe now I'm going to try lease options. Maybe now I'm going to try probates. Maybe now I'm going to do this. And what you really need to do is, my nose is running. What you really need to do in a slump is hashtag chill. It's probably that you don't need to take on 3 more jobs. And it's probably that you don't need to take on 3 new skills. And during a slump is definitely, please Lord help us all, during a slump is when you definitely don't need to hire 3 new people to help you get out of that slump. Y'all hear me? I've been through this for years, y'all. I've been through lots of different slumps. I've been through lots of different valleys. I've been through lots of different heartbreaks. I've been through lots of different episodes of actually losing my mind, crying in the kitchen floor because I was in a slump and I couldn't see any way out. Hey, Jackie. Y'all, there are thousands of ways to make money in real estate. My mom is a super successful buy and hold investor. She doesn't understand lease options. She doesn't like lease options. She doesn't want to deal with lease options, but she loves some owner financing. She loves some buy and hold investing. She loves, to flip, fix and flip and rent. She doesn't burr it. She doesn't even know what burr means, but she's still successful because she picked one thing and mastered it. All right, Spencer says that's absolutely right. He's mastered finding deals, and by finding deals, he's been able to master wholesaling, wholesaling, retail, and landlording. All right, but it starts with one thing, y'all. And I've suffered from this as a coach too. Over the last 7 years, I've done 72 different kinds of deals. Maybe closer to 100. The last time I counted, I was in the 70s. Okay? That's a lot of freaking deals in a short amount of time to also realize that I'm a human. A lot of ladies, when they get into real estate investing, real estate is just so male. It's just so masculine. It's just so big and so it just is. And a lot of ladies avoid real estate and avoid real estate investing. Most agents are women, okay? So women get real estate, but they don't get into real estate investing because it's just so big and it's so cumbersome and it's so much and there's so much involved that a lot of ladies avoid it because a lot of people aren't actually speaking to women and encouraging them to be women. They tell you got to have this, you got to have that, you got to have this, you got to have this, you got to have that, you got to learn this, you got to learn that, you got to and you got to have all this stuff before you can ever get started. And I think one of my magical tricks is that I really help ladies realize that what they need to master is just what Spencer said. They need to master leads. They need to master talking to sellers, because ladies, when you realize that you are a natural negotiator, when you realize that you are a natural born leader, that you have this natural innate ability to help people and nurture people, you'll realize that real estate investing is just problem solving. Real estate investing has very little to do with math. It has very little to do with these great big complicated things. Real estate investing is just problem solving. It's learning how to talk to sellers, practicing talking to sellers, and practicing taking away their problems. And, for a year or two, I was suffering from, okay, I've done all these deals. I need to teach women how to do all of these deals all at the same time, because that's what I saw all the other coaches doing. And what I realized was women already have 18,000 different jobs that they have to do in any given day. Whether you have a 9-to-5 or whether you have 2 9-to-5s, or whether you have a family or you have a dog or you're a mom or you're just somebody's friend. Like, there are lots of things that women have to do out in this world. And when I am puking out real estate investing and all the different ways that you can make money in real estate, they go, too much, too complicated, I ain't doing it. But when I got started, I mastered one thing at a time. And now that's what I've really focused in on. It's not trying to help everybody all the time. I tell the ladies in First Deal Done Fast that you need to help one seller a week. You need to help one seller a month. If you can help one seller every quarter, you can make $100,000 a year. It's really about doing less and figuring out who exactly you want to help, who exactly you need to help, and then letting everybody else run around like a chicken with their head cut off doing all the other things. Andrea says problem solving is in our DNA, so apply it to whatever you do, even real estate investing. Exactly. I mean, if you got a problem, I'll solve it, right? I mean, that's like practically a woman's motto. We're moms because we're problem solvers. And I know men can solve problems too, but not in the same way that a woman can. And I've gone into deals before where an agent walked into the house before I did, like a regular real estate agent. I'm a real estate broker for Whitney Buys Houses, but I don't do regular real estate. I do my own little flavor of real estate. But I walked in after this agent and he had presented an offer for like $120,000 and he was going to sell the property. But he told these 2 sisters and another sister in Atlanta, he told these 3 ladies that they were going to have to drop $60,000, $65,000, $70,000 into the house before he could sell it for $120,000. And I think I got that deal because I didn't go in there and tell them they needed to do anything. I went in there and I was there for an hour. And we chatted. They told me about their mom. They told me about their kids. They told me about this. They told me about that. They told me about their sister in Atlanta. They told me about this other thing. They told me about the kitchen they were wanting to redo. And they told me about the things that they were going to do and this and that and the other. And we just chatted for like 45 minutes. And then there was a break in the conversation. I was like, so, thanks for showing me this house. What do you want to do with it? And they said, we just want to get rid of it. He said that we're going to have to flip it. We're not flippers. We don't want to do that. We don't know who to call. We don't know who to hire. We just want to be done with it. We just want to, let our mom rest in peace. And we just want to live our lives. And we don't want to fight amongst ourselves. And we don't want to make any decisions. And I was like, well, great. I'll give you $60,000 for it. And they said, where do we sign? Just like that. That was the entire negotiation. I said, I'll give you 60. They already told me he offered to get them 120. So it wasn't about the money. I asked a very simple question to 2 ladies. As a lady, I didn't go in with a hard negotiation. I didn't go in with any great tactics or anything. I just listened to 2 women who had recently lost their mom and were trying to keep their family intact. They didn't want to fight. They didn't want to have to make decisions. They just wanted to go on a cruise for Christmas together. And I just listened to them. And I solved their problem. They each got 20 grand. Which is what they needed to flip their kitchen and to go on their cruise and to take care of their family. That's it. They didn't care how much I made on the house. They didn't care what I did with the house. And I found them on Facebook for free. Ladies, your best untold secret to success in real estate investing is to be yourself. And to find sellers who want you to help them. All right? There's plenty of sellers out there that don't need you, don't want you, don't want to talk to you, think you're up to no good, blah, 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 blah. They're in it for them, blah, blah, blah. Leave them alone. Y'all quit worrying about them. Focus on the sellers who want you to help them. Focus on the sellers who have a problem that they need solved. Those women that I bought that house from, you know what their problem was? They wanted to keep their family intact. They didn't want to have a big fight or brawl about what happened with mom's house and who was going to make this decision and who was going to pay that. They wanted to be happy. That was their whole problem. Had nothing to do with the real estate. Nothing to do with their mom's house. I bought their house for 60 grand. Easily worth 120. That's 50 cents on the dollar. We had to put some money in it. Still got it. Still makes money. All good. The thing about that, though, I'm really good at one thing. And no matter what it is, whether I'm talking to somebody that has an apartment complex or whether I'm talking to somebody that has inherited a house or I'm talking to somebody that's trying to, not dissolve their divorce, but finalize their divorce and they just need to get rid of this. Like, the one thing you need to focus on before you try to go down every single other path is learn how to talk to sellers like a lady. From a lady's perspective. Don't worry about how much money you're going to make. Everybody's super duper worried about the numbers and the comps and ARV and this and that and the other. Your sellers don't give a shit about ARV. They don't. They don't care what you know and what degrees you have and all this, that, and the other. They have a problem and they want to know that you can solve it. And yeah, I can teach you 7 different ways to make money in real estate. The fact is, there are thousands of ways to make money in real estate. 7, if you master 7 different strategies that I can teach you, you'll be a millionaire. You may not have a Lamborghini, but do you really want a Lamborghini? Or do you want peace of mind knowing that your kids are taken care of, knowing that their college is paid for, knowing that you can retire and not have to live in a 6x10 box that the government provides because we're not going to have Social Security? Most women that I help, most women that I talk to, most women that I know in real estate, they're not after it for the shiny objects that the guys are in it for. And there's nothing wrong with getting a Lamborghini. There's nothing wrong with wanting a beach house or 3. There's nothing wrong with setting goals for yourself and working to achieve those goals and getting, gold bars and getting all the things that you want. There's nothing wrong with that. But really, when you master one thing at a time, after 7 years, you will have stacked the deck in your favor beyond your wildest dreams. In First Build and Fast, I teach lease options, owner financing, and wholesaling. 3 different topics to get started. 3 different ways that you can get your first deal done fast, because every real estate investor knows that the first deal is the hardest deal. Every agent knows that switching from agenting to investing, doing that first deal, is the most complicated because you have to regroup your brainwashing from all the regular real estate stuff that you've known and seen over the last decade. But unlike agenting, those investing checks come in every month. And they hit a lot harder than commission checks. That's why I quit listing. I've listed 2 houses in my entire life. Kendra Ellis gives me so much crap because she loves to go to real estate stuff, and she's like a super duper real estate agent. I am not. I'm like a crappy real estate agent. I will never teach you how to be a real estate agent. Ain't doing it. But real estate investing, I can talk about that for 4 days straight. In fact, I do talk about that for 4 days straight. 4 different times a year, I talk about real estate investing for 4 days straight. One is coming up in Knoxville in November 6th through the 9th. We're having She Buys It Live. If you want to hang out with me, you want to be one-on-one with me, you want to pick my brain, you need to be at She Buys It Live in Knoxville this November. Especially if you're in Knoxville. Like, there's no reason we shouldn't be packed out with Knoxvillians at She Buys It Live. All the details are on shebuysit.com. Shebuysit.com. Up at the top, there's a button, a bar across the top that says, get a ticket to She Buys It Live. Get a VIP ticket to She Buys It Live. So we can hang out for 4 days straight and nerd out on real estate investing. But I listed 2 houses, and just to cut the long story short, the second one changed my life. On the first house, it took me like 8 months. I sold it. I made $1,200. It was total crap. $1,200 for 8 months of work. That's not even enough to get a manicure and a pedicure every month. All right, that is total crap. But the second house that I listed, I had it listed for $199. My seller went to South America, came back. He was like, why haven't we sold it yet? And I was like, well, we're overpriced. I told you we were overpriced before you left. He was like, well, drop it to $169 and see if we can get it to sell. And I was like, all right, now we're in the ballpark. The day I dropped it, like the hour I dropped it to $169, I had 2 agents wanting to show it. First agent went and showed it. They made us an offer. We were under contract. We went to the inspection, and the back door had glass on it, okay? So, like, this back door right here has glass on it. Well, my seller had come home one night and forgotten his keys, so he just busted out one of the glass panes, reached in and unlocked his door and went on in. And then the next day, he'd patched it with a piece of cardboard. So the inspector said, this probably needs to be fixed before you buy this house. And the buyers were like, yeah, we want this fixed, this door fixed before we buy the house. And I think they wanted 2 or 3 other little things, like nothing major, and some things that probably should be fixed before they buy this place, like nothing major. It's probably going to be about $1,000 worth of work. And they were going to give him like full offer, $169. And my seller refused to make those fixes. He refused to invest $1,000 in this house to get it to sell to these people that live like down the street who were renting but wanted to stay in the neighborhood. They were perfect buyers. So we canceled the contract. They walked away. They found another house, lived a nice, happy life. 3 months later, when my seller was back in the state, back in Knoxville, he was like, hey, Whit, why haven't we sold it at $169? I was like, well, because you refused the best offer that we could have ever had on it. He was like, well, let's drop it to $129 and see if we can get it to sell. I'm sorry. Did you just say you wanted to drop this house to $129? He was like, yeah, $129. I'll just dump it for $129. I don't owe but like 70 or 80 grand on it anyway, so whatever we get on top is just profit. I was like, so you're telling me, and I was a new agent, so I didn't know that I should ask what he owed on it. I didn't know that I should like negotiate with him before I listed it. I didn't know these things, but I know these things now, right? But this is the listing that made me quit listing houses. This is the listing that made me quit working with sellers if I was not the buyer. All right? This is the listing that I said, this shit ain't worth my time. I said, we had it out on the market for $199 and then $169, and then you could have sold it for $169, but you didn't want to put $1,000 in it and get $168, but now you want to drop it to $129? I said, no, I'm done. Cancel my listing agreement. I ain't doing this. This is not worth it. This is not working for me. This is way too much headache for me, because y'all agents, you know, I mean, it took a lot of work for me to get it up, to get it marketed, to show it, to get it presentable, to get it under contract, to do the contracts, bleh. And still, at 3%, because I was going to split it with the other buyer, how much was I going to make at $169? Like, what, $2,000, $3,000? For a year's worth of work at this point? What was I going to make at $129? $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 maybe? And then I was going to split that with my broker too? For a year's worth of work? That's $200 a month. If you make $2,500 on a listing that takes you a year, $2,500 divided by 12 months is like $200 a month. That's not enough to get a manicure and a pedicure every month. How are you supposed to make your mortgage payment? On the flip side of that, the first lease option deal I did, because I was trying one thing at a time, right? And I was going to master one thing at a time, right? My first lease option, I got it under contract for $122,000, and I was buying it, and I was going to make their payments for like the next 5 years. I put it out on Zillow for $145,000, thinking, you know, a $20,000 cushion would be awesome. I got a cash offer in 4 weeks, cash from a cash buyer, for $135,000. But the thing was, they would pay $135,000, but they wanted to rent the house until they could close. And my sellers had already moved out. It was empty. So I said, okay. I didn't have a payment due until June. But they wanted to rent the house March, April, and May, close sometime in May. They paid me $3,000 the first day that I met these people, non-refundable. All right, so like in 4 weeks, I made $3,000, which is a hell of a lot better than listing houses. Then in 4 more weeks, so in a total of 8 weeks, they bought that house with cash for $135,000. So I got $122,000 to $135,000. That's $13,000. And then I got 3 months of rent when I didn't have a payment due. That's another $3,000. That's 13 and 3. That's $16,000. $16,000, ladies. On a deal I had $10 invested in. I had $10 invested in it. I had the same amount of effort as I had in listing houses. I had less paperwork, less hoops, less opinions. I had less of everything except the money. It was like 10 times as much money. When you hit that first big deal like that, there's no way you could go back to pennies on the dollar listing houses and all the crap you got to go through to deal with all that stuff that comes from being a regular real estate agent. No way could I go back to begging for $2,500 when I knew how to make $15,000 in a quarter of the time. It took me 2 months, 8 weeks, literally 8 weeks to make $15,000. It took me 8 months to make $1,200 on my first listing. It took me over a year and I made nothing on my second listing. Ladies, real estate investing is for you. You can totally do this, but you got to focus on it. You got to give it your whole butt. You got to give it 10 hours a week. You got to give it some attention. You got to go after one skill until you master it. And the one skill that you need, you already have. You know how to negotiate. If you didn't know how to negotiate, you wouldn't stay married very long. Y'all hear me? If ladies weren't the best negotiators, they wouldn't raise children. It's like a hostage situation getting these kids to eat something besides chicken tenders. I'm a stepmom. That struggle is real. All right? You got to be a negotiator if you're going to survive. Women make the best real estate investors. The trick is, the secret is, the magic is getting that first deal done, getting that first shut-up check, getting that first rent payment, getting that first deal done fast. And that's what I focus on. There's lots of coaches that can teach you how to make millions of dollars and set up your systems and do all these great and amazing things. And those coaches are awesome. I've worked with a lot of them. I've hung out with a lot of them. But I'm not that coach. I'm here on a mission to help women really and truly understand the language, understand the game, understand the rules of the game, and understand that they can do this. I encourage and empower women to get their first deal done fast. Because once you get that first deal done, the second deal makes more sense. The 15th deal looks like a cakewalk. I mean, it's still a little bit of a juggle. The juggle is real, but the struggle is made up in your head. Ladies, you deserve big bucks. You deserve $100,000 months, $100,000 quarters. If you're not ready for a $100,000 month, that's cool. You can grow into it. You can grow into $100,000 a quarter until you're ready to do other deals. I'm here to teach you how to get that first $10,000 on autopilot, how to get that first $10,000 assignment fee, wholesale fee, whatever. I'm here to show you that you can do this. And the biggest secret to real estate investing success is to find one way to make money in real estate and dominate it. If you get into First Deal Done Fast, you get into the mastermind, or you're in FDDF Plus, you know, we start out in First Deal Done Fast, and there's 3 ways right there to make money in real estate. Right off the bat, I'm going to give you 3 fast ways to make money in real estate. Because it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be this huge, big monster that we can't understand and get a grip on. I'm going to teach you how to get some fast wins so that you get the confidence to do what you really need to do. The 3 strategies we focus on in First Build and Fast are lease options, owner financing, and wholesaling. I say wholesaling last because it's fine. Wholesaling is a hustle. Wholesaling is good. Wholesaling brings in fast cash. But what I really want for you is passive income. I really want residual income. I really want you to get creative financing, which is lease options and owner financing, seller financing, whatever, maybe even subject to or a wrap. Creative financing is what I want for you, because that's how you're going to build $1,000 a month coming in automatically. Real estate agents, you got to be chasing that clear to close. You got to be looking for that next seller. You got to be hustling. You got to be going. There's no retirement there, because if you're not closing, you're not cashing a check. But if you're renting, if you're lease optioning, if you've got a place owner financed and you can make payments on it forever and people can pay you on it forever, then you're in. You can retire. You can build that up to $10,000 a month. And that may be all you need for now. Whatever it is that you're doing to make money right now, I can help you add $10,000 a month to that, to your bottom line. That's an extra $120,000 a year. Every woman out there could use an extra $120,000 a year in their spare time. Or maybe you break $250,000 a year in your spare time. You can do this, ladies. But that jump from whatever it is that you're doing, there's a gap. What you've been doing is working and you are getting by. You are surviving. But there's a gap to where you want to be. There's a gap in between what you're doing and what you really want to do. And I help bridge the gap. What you're doing is fine, and you can do it forever and ever, amen. But if you don't ever bridge it and you don't ever go to the other side, you're never going to find all the riches that God has for you. You're never going to find Easy Street. You're never going to find your beach house. You're never going to find passive income. You're never going to find a relaxing day on the beach. I'll tell you, today's Friday. I don't work on Fridays. I think it is ridiculous to work on Fridays. When I was in college, I had Tuesday, Thursday classes because Fridays, I had other things to do. I sure wasn't going to go to work on Fridays. I'm not working Saturday and I'm not working Sunday. And most agents look at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as go time. I'm looking at it like chill time. If y'all are watching me right now, hashtag lady in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, give me a hashtag landlord. Ladies, you don't have to run. You don't have to kill it. You don't have to do every deal that's out there. You just got to focus on one strategy at a time. You got to focus on one seller at a time. You got to focus on one deal at a time. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing to make money. You focus on your change. You focus on the change that you got going on in here. You focus on the change that you got going on in your purse. And you focus on the change that you got going on in your bank account too. It's a lot of changing. But the only way to bridge the gap is to change something. You got to change something. And if you're ready to make a change, get a ticket to She Buys It Live in Knoxville. Go to shebuysit.com. There's a bar up at the top of the website, whether you're on mobile or the desktop. There's a bar up at the top that says, get a VIP ticket to She Buys It Live. Change your schedule for 4 days and learn how to really be a real estate investor. When I went to work for my mom, she expected me to work on Fridays, even on Friday afternoons. And I thought that was the most ridiculous thing I could ever think of. So we talk about why are you going to get started? Why are you going to be a real estate investor? Why are you going to put yourself through all this crap for 2 or 3 years? Well, one of my main reasons why is so that I didn't have to work on Fridays anymore. Maybe that's a selfish reason. Maybe that's a crazy reason. That's probably not the Forbes reason why I wanted to get into real estate investing. But I wanted time freedom. Victor Jernigan called me the other day. He was like, hey, we're going to Atlanta for the RIA meeting. What are you doing tonight? And I was like, going with you. And you know, as soon as I saw him, you know what he said? He was like, I think it is so cool that you have the time freedom that if you get invited to Atlanta for the day, you can just go. You don't have to check your schedule. You don't have to worry about what you got going on. He said, I can tell that you've already got your money in a situation where if somebody invites you to go do something, you want to go do it, you just go and do it. Ladies, that's what I want for you. I worked my tail off for 2 or 3 years mastering one skill at a time, and now I help other women master one skill at a time. And that one skill that you need, without all the smoke and mirrors, without all the shiny object syndrome, without all the other things that people are talking about in real estate investing, and I talk about in real estate investing too on YouTube, you need to master talking to sellers. How are you going to get in front of sellers? How are you going to talk to sellers? How are you going to make 3 offers with sellers? How are you going to do all these things? Once you can do that and you can repeat it week after week, you could buy 14 houses in 1 year, especially if you're only putting $10 down on them. That's what we're going to talk about at She Buys It Live. Y'all go to shebuysit.com, get you a ticket to She Buys It Live in Knoxville this November. That's what you need. You need to talk to sellers, make offers, and buy houses. After you master that, then start talking about flipping. Then start talking about buying at auction. Then start talking about buying holds. Then start talking about this, that, and the other. But get in and get your first deal done fast. Get in and get with a bunch of women like you who want to talk about real estate investing like it's a regular conversation. Get around women that are regularly making $10,000 and $20,000 a month part-time in their real estate investing career. Maybe you need to join the mastermind. Maybe you've got, things that you're wanting to do, but you need that tight-knit group of people that you can grow with over the next year. That's fine too. I can help you with that. But definitely, whether you want to join the mastermind or not, whether you just need to know more, you need to get encouraged, you need to figure out more about how to talk to these sellers, get a ticket to She Buys It Live. Go to shebuysit.com and get your ticket today so that I can help you realize that women make the best real estate investors, and so that you can realize that ladies are natural negotiators. That's our topic for this year at Live, is negotiate like a lady. You can do this, girls. If I can do this, you can too. If Leslie can do this, you can too. Sheila can do this, you can too. If Ann can do this, you can too. Josie, Amy, Ashley, Janine, April, Jackie. If we can all do these deals, Debbie, Heather, if we can all do these deals like a lady, then you can too. I know you can. I've got total faith in you. We got to just do one deal at a time, though. One deal, one skill, one strategy at a time. All right, girls, I'm out of here. I hope to see you in November at She Buys It Live. It's going to be fantastic. I do believe today is the 6th, so exactly 2 months from today, we're going to be in Knoxville for She Buys It Live. 60 days. It's go time. Get a ticket. Get your hotel room. We'll send you the information on where we're all staying, all that stuff. We'll send it to you after you get your VIP ticket or your elite ticket to She Buys It Live. And if you're interested in the mastermind, if you're interested in going after even more deals, better, stronger, faster, with more of my time, more of my attention, and a smaller group of girls, send me a message about joining the mastermind. All right, girls. I'll see y'all later. Go get those deals done. There ain't no shame in your game if you're in those 2 to 3 years where you're just out there doing as much as you can, as often as you can. Ain't no shame in that game. I've been investing since December of 2012. I'll have 7 years in December, all right? And for 2 to 3 of those years, I couldn't take off a Friday. I had to work on the 8th day of the week so that eventually I could get here, but it'll happen. You got to stack those deals, stack that cash, stack those skills, and you'll make it happen. All right? So if you're working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and every day in between right now, that's okay. Keep going. 2 years, it's going to fly by. The time's going to pass. You'll either be really proud of your progress in 2021 or you won't be. Make yourself proud today, girls. Mwah!